The Santiago Bernabéu has always been a stage of sudden transformations, and this season it swallowed a new kind of story, one that began in the quiet corridors of the academy and rippled out to the terraces. Raúl Asencio arrived in the first team mix not by headline signing or dramatic transfer fee, but because necessity carved him a path. An avalanche of defensive injuries yanked the curtain aside, and the boy from Las Palmas stepped into bright, unforgiving light. At first he moved like a player who had rehearsed those minutes 1,000 times in the Castilla yard, calm in possession, decisive in the tackle, a presence that suggested he belonged. That early spell read like a dream for the academy: emergency call-up, composed debut, instant whispers that perhaps the club had something homegrown worth keeping. But football is a machine that chews on confidence. When the Club World Cup arrived, the bright narrative curdled. A few loose clearances, a poor header that cost a goal, a defensive moment that was replayed in slow motion until it felt permanent. Suddenly, the same crowd that had celebrated him found fault. Criticism sharpened into headlines, and the player who'd been lifted felt weight instead. The apology he posted later was small and human, an acknowledgement of mistakes, an attempt to stitch respect back together with the fans. In those weeks, talk of him leaving, of being surplus to requirements, moved from the whispers in back rooms to the pages of transfer chatter. Who knows how quickly careers end and begin? The twist came not from a scouting report, but from misfortune elsewhere. A senior right-back was sidelined by a muscle injury, and that absence reopened the doors that had been shut. Football offers second chances like lightning, sudden, unavoidable, and blindingly bright. Asencio walked back onto the pitch with something sharpened by exile, a refusal to be defined by a poor week. His game tightened, his passing lines were cleaner, his reading of danger better. Where panic might have crept in, there was instead a quiet confidence, a defender who now seemed to understand the cost of error and how to bury it behind preparation. The pages that had once predicted his exit were being rewritten with every composed intervention. Xabi Alonso, a coach who prizes structure and intelligence in his backline, took note. Where doubt had once contrasted with potential, the coach began to talk about evolution and project build, not quick disposals. Asencio's adaptability, slotting into different defensive setups, answering high-press situations and offering calm under pressure, made him less a stopgap and more a piece with future value. The club's defenders had been reshuffled by injuries and new signings, but the quiet truth was this: availability and reliability can turn a youth academy graduate into a strategic asset overnight. Fans who had demanded names now watched a kid who absorbed their jeers and returned with form. There are moral threads running through modern football: patience, the cruelty of public opinion, and the merciless calendar that never pauses for repair. Asencio's arc, rapid rise, public stumble, and methodical return, is a compact lesson in how fragile and how resilient a career can be. If he keeps this trajectory, he doesn't simply salvage his place. He reshapes the conversation about homegrown talent at one of the world's most demanding clubs. For Xabi Alonso, the dilemma is deliciously modern. Do you lean on a polished veteran or trust a rehabilitated academy graduate who knows how to learn in public? For the Bernabéu faithful, the answer will arrive in minutes, tackles, and clean lines of passing. The next time Asencio slides into a challenge and the crowd holds its breath, they will be reminded how quickly football can turn a pariah into a protector, and how one small U-turn can tilt the balance of an entire season.